we started our discussion on the budget part. In budget, we started our discussion on the health and well-being, that what is there in 2021-22 budget in the sector of health and well-being. That was what we started discussing yesterday. So regarding health and well-being is concerned, one most important point in this new budget is that the allocation to this sector has been increased by 137% in this budget. Allocation to this sector has been increased by 137% in this budget in comparison with the previous budget. So this is one important thing. That means in this budget, the government has given more importance to the health and well-being of people. So this is in itself a proof that in this budget, the government has given more importance to the health and well-being of the people, to the health and well-being of Indians, right? So that's the important point here. So what is the reason of giving so much importance to the health and well-being of the people in this new budget? There are certain reasons. One reason is the COVID-19 pandemic. So one reason is that COVID-19 pandemic. The whole world is suffering from this problem, and India is also suffering from this problem, right? So you can say a huge setback to the economy, right, has been given by this disease, by this problem of COVID-19. So this is one reason, because in this budget, rupees 35,000 crore have been allocated for COVID-19 vaccination only, right? So in this budget, rupees 35,000 crore, right, has been allocated for COVID-19 vaccination. COVID-19 vaccination only. So that is why, right, the health budget has increased this much. This is one reason. And the second reason is that that is called a National Family Health Survey. National Family Health Survey. The fifth round of the National Family Health Survey, which is known as NFHS, National Family Health Survey 5, means fifth round of the National Family Health Survey, which has highlighted that the nutritional status in India has been decelerated over the years as compared with the statistics from National Family Health Survey 4, which was conducted in the year 2015-16. The nutritional status in India has further gone down, right? So there is a increase in many states and districts in terms of underweight children, in terms of the anemic women, right? In terms of the stunted children, in terms of the wasted children. So that is why National Family Health Survey suggested that there is a more need for India to focus on the nutritional aspect in the country. So these are the two major reasons that the government has given so much importance to health sector in this budget, right? Because India is the capital of undernourished children in the world, right? So approximately one third of the undernourished children in the world are living in our country. So that is why in such a scenario, right? So you know that if the children of a country are not properly developing, right, their cognitive ability is not developing, their health is not developing according to their age, right? So then it leads to the, right, you can say less development of their cognitive abilities. School productivity also comes low, and when they become adult, so their productivity in life also become low. So that is why, that means if the children of a country are suffering from the problem of malnutrition, undernutrition, if they are stunted, if they are underweight, if they are wasted children, right? And if the adolescent girls who are about to become mothers, right, after 18 years of age, so if their health is not adequate, so then obviously they will give birth to the babies, right, who will be suffering from the problem of either stunting or a problem of you can say this low growth, etc., etc., right? So that is why if if such a thing happens in the country, so then that means our future generations would be spoiled, right? And that would lead to start of intergenerational, right, we can say, transfer of the problem from one generation to the another generation to another generation to another generation. So that is why it is felt important that health should be given more priority than anything else, right? So therefore, so much importance has been given in this budget to the health sector, and the allocation has been increased by 137% in this sector. Okay. So is it clear to you? I hope you would be able to justify it that the government's increase to health sector by 130%, is it justified in your opinion or not, right? If this question is asked to you, then you need to answer the question on these lines which I have just discussed with you. Okay, so that's the important thing, right? So that is why in our, we can say, this budget, right? So three areas of health are being focused on. Three areas of health are being focused on, right? Are being focused on, right? So one is the, we can say, preventive health, and second is the curative health, and third is, you can say, the well-being. Third is the well-being. So these are the three areas which have been emphasized upon in this new, we can say, budget, right? So now let us move further. Okay, let us move further now. So further is that uh, in the budget, okay, in the budget 2021-22, right? So there are two important things. Otherwise, we can say that three important programs are there, right, related with the health, which we will discuss now, right? So one is that is the, we can say, vaccination program. Okay, vaccination program. One is that which has been given attention, right? Vaccination program, right? And the second major thing which has been given attention is that, right, that is Prime Minister Atam Nirbhar. Okay, Prime Minister Atam Nirbhar, right? That is their Swasth Bharat Yojana, which we have already discussed this, right? So I'm not going to discuss this again today's in today's class, right? Prime Minister Atam Nirbhar Swasth Bharat Yojana. And the third important mission which has been started in this, that is Ocean 2.0. So this is the third important scheme which has been launched through this budget, right? So today we are going to discuss about these two things. One is the vaccination program and second is the Ocean 2.0. This is important, and in this we will discuss a lot of things, right? So whatever we are going to discuss today, right, so that will help you in your preliminary examination, 1 point, right, preliminary examination. And the second point is in essay paper in the mains examination. And the third is in general studies paper 1, right, which is related with the social problems or social issues of India, right? Social problems of India. So we can say that these are the right. This is the relevance of this topic today, right? So that is why uh, please be focused, right? And don't leave the class in between, because this chapter is going to be very much important for you. Okay, so now let me move on to this vaccination program, right? As far as vaccination is concerned, right, the two things which are important here, one is the COVID-19, right, anti-COVID-19 vaccine, right, COVID vaccine, right? And for this, rupees 35,000 crore have been provided for in the budget, right? So we are already implementing this program, right, in the phases, right, in different phases. So this is the point here. And the second is the, you can say, right, launch of right, pneumococcal, right, vaccine, pneumococcal vaccine, right, throughout India. So that is there, right? So earlier it was introduced in few states, and now we are in position to launch it, you can say, throughout India also, right? So now here, what is important here? So first of all, we will discuss about this pneumococcal vaccine and what is the purpose, what are the various problems, right? So in this section, also you will gain a lot of information. So that is why please be concentrated, please be focused on this topic, right? So first of all, let us start with this, you can say, right, pneumococcal vaccine, right? So pneumococcal vaccine, right? So as far as this pneumococcal vaccine or pneumococcus vaccine is concerned, let me take it like this: pneumococcus vaccine, right? Pneumococcus vaccine, right? So what is this which we call the pneumococcus vaccine? First of all, is this thing, right? So now the thing is that pneumococcus vaccine, we can say, right, so is a vaccine. Okay, so we can write it like this, that pneumococcus vaccine is a vaccine, right, is a vaccine to prevent, right, to prevent from pneumococcus diseases, right, from pneumococcus diseases. Okay, from pneumococcus diseases. So this is one important thing. Okay, so now the next point here, which is important further, that what are the pneumococcus diseases, right? So here we will discuss that what are the pneumococcus diseases, right? So that is an important point to be discussed here, because until and unless you don't know about the pneumococcus diseases, right, so you won't be able to get this topic properly, right? So we can say that pneumococcus diseases are diseases, right, are diseases caused by, right, are diseases caused by, let me write it here, are infectious diseases, right? So that would be much better. Infectious diseases, okay, caused by, caused by, right? So caused by what? Caused by bacteria, right? Caused by bacteria. Which bacteria? That bacteria is the pneumococcus bacteria, right? Caused by bacteria, right? Or let us write it pneumococcus, pneumococcus bacterium, right? Bacterium is singular, right? Pneumococcus bacterium. And here the important thing is that pneumococcus bacterium is also known as, right? So it is also known as, right? It is also known as, right? Streptococcus, streptococcus, right? It is also known as a Streptococcus, right? Pneumoniae, Pneumoniae, right? Streptococcus pneumoniae, right? So it means if in examination there is written that pneumococcus bacterium, right? Or there can be the streptococcus bacterium also, right? Streptococcus pneumoniae bacterium. So it is one and the same thing, right? So you need not to, right, become worried over there, right? If it is mentioned like this, right? So we have talked at that it is to prevent from pneumococcus diseases, right? So now let us move on to the further point, right? So pneumococcus diseases, right? So now we will talk about this, right? Pneumococcus diseases, right? So what are the pneumococcus diseases, right? So as far as the various pneumococcus diseases are concerned, right? So one important pneumococcus disease is, we can say, right? So that is, we can say the, so one important pneumococcus diseases, we can say that is the pneumonia, right? Pneumonia. Pneumonia is related with the chest infection, right? Chest infection, right? And the second thing, yesterday I discussed with you one important point also, that pneumonia is not caused solely by this bacteria, right? So pneumonia can be caused by bacteria, right? So pneumonia can be caused by, you can say, fungus or virus also, right? Pneumonia can be caused by virus also, okay, and pneumonia can be caused by fungus also. So please bear this in mind. If you have been asked the question, right, or if in interview such type of question is raised there, right, so please bear this in mind, that this chest infection, which is called pneumonia, can be caused by bacteria, virus, or fungus also, right, or fungus also. So it can be viral infection, it can be bacterial infection, or it can be fungal infection as well. So I hope this point is clear to you. So next to pneumonia, right? So that is there. I can say that, right? The next disease, the next pneumococcal disease is that, that is meningitis. Meningitis, right? Meningitis, meningitis, right? Meningitis. So as far as the meningitis is concerned, right? So meningitis is also an, right? So we can say that meningitis is also an infectious disease, right? It is also an infectious disease, right? An infection, right? Which leads to the inflammation, okay? Which leads to the inflammation in brain, and we can say spinal cord membrane, right? And the spinal cord membrane. So this is the disease which is called the meningitis disease, right? So please bear these things in mind that, right? So meningitis disease is a bacterial disease, is caused by this bacteria, right? And the next important point here, that is, we can say, we can discuss, we shall discuss here, that is the next disease which is caused by this bacteria, which is the pneumococcal or pneumococcus bacteria, right? Pneumococcus bacteria. So the next disease is called, that is the sepsis, right? Sepsis. What is the reason behind this? We can say sepsis, right? What is the reason behind this sepsis? Sepsis is the reason that, right? So whenever, right? Whenever a foreign body, body like bacteria, okay, foreign body like bacteria, virus, right, enters in our body, enters in our body, then our body's immune system, right, our body's immune system becomes active, right, to fight against, that, right, to fight against that. So this is there. Okay. So then, to fight against that, right, so some chemicals are released, right, to fight against that. Some chemicals are released, we can say, right, in our immune system in the body, right? Some chemicals are released. And the second thing is that, sometimes, in response to some foreign element, right, so our immune system sometimes becomes overactive, right? Our immune system sometimes become overactive, right, become overactive, right, overactive, and starts, right, and starts harming our body, and starts harming our body, right? So we can say such type of problems, right, are known as the, right, autoimmune disorders, right? So such of the problems are known as the autoimmune diseases, or we can say autoimmune disorders, right? Autoimmune disorders or autoimmune problems, such type of diseases are known as that, right? Autoimmune disorder, right? And here, in the case of sepsis also, right? So chemicals, right? So chemicals released by the body to fight against the pneumococcus bacteria, right? So, right. So we can say that, chemicals released in body for fighting against the, right, against the bacteria, okay, against the bacteria, leads to inflammation of, right, leads to inflammation of, or leads to inflammation throughout the body, right? Inflammation throughout the body, okay, throughout the body, right? So which may cause uh, damage of the, we can say, organs, right? Which may cause damage of organs, right? So this disease, which may cause damage of organs, right? So this disease or this problem is known as the sepsis, right? So this is the sepsis issue which is created by this. Okay. What foreign body means, whatever it may be some virus, it may be some bacteria, that is the foreign body which I'm telling you, right? So next problem is, we can say, sepsis, right? So I have discussed that what sepsis is. Okay. And the next problem which can be there due to this pneumococcus bacteria, right? So that problem, I would like to say, that problem is known as the, right, otitis media, right? Otitis, otitis media, right? So otitis media, right, is a sort of the, we can say, ear infection in the ear, right? So that is the ear infection, so please bear these things in mind, right? And uh, and the next disease or the next problem which can be caused by this bacteria, pneumococcus bacteria, right? So that is known as the, you can say, right, sinusitis, right? So sinusitis, sinusitis, right? So what is sinusitis? I told you yesterday also. So sinusitis is we can say, right, sinusitis is the inflammation of nasal cavity, right? Inflammation of nasal cavity, nose के अंदर जो cavity है उसकी inflammation होने से होता है. Okay, so this was about this. We can say we have almost everything discussed about this, you can say, pneumococcal vaccine, something that uh, what is pneumococcal vaccine. Pneumococcus vaccine is a vaccine to prevent from the diseases caused by the pneumococcus bacterium, right? Pneumococcus bacterium is known as the streptococcus pneumoniae bacterium also, right? And pneumococcus diseases include pneumonia, it includes meningitis, it includes sepsis also, it includes otitis media disease, which is the ear infection, and it includes sinusitis also. These are the various diseases which can be caused by this pneumococcus bacterium. Okay, so now the next thing is that again we are moving on to the next page. I think you must have noted it down. So I am moving further. Okay. So now there is the we are discussing about the pneumococcus vaccine. Okay, we are discussing about the pneumococcus vaccine, right? So this is our topic which we are discussing now. So as far as the pneumococcus vaccine is concerned, right? So one important thing which I would like to share with you is that, right, is that right? So pneumococcus vaccine, pneumococcus vaccine, okay, under the name of under the name of okay, under the name of Pneumocil, Pneumosil, right? So this is the name of the vaccine. Under the name of Pneumocil, right? Is is India's first India's first indigenously developed pneumococcus vaccine. Right? India's first indigenously developed we can say, right, pneumococcus vaccine. Okay, so this is important. India's first indigenously developed pneumococcus vaccine. So this line is very much important, right? India's first vaccine, right? So this is important point here. And now, now with the development of this vaccine, right? So India is first in the developing world. India is first country in the developing world, right? First country in the developing world, to you can say manufacture, to develop this vaccine, right? To develop this vaccine indigenously, right? To develop this vaccine. So this is the one very important point here, right? Which you must bear in mind, because such thing can be asked in your examination also. India is the first country in the developing world, right, to develop this pneumococcus vaccine. So this is one important point. And the second important point is that, right, India is third in the world to develop this vaccine, right? So India is third in the world, okay, is third in the world to develop this vaccine, okay, to develop this vaccine. So this is also very much important point here, right? India is third in the world to develop this vaccine. So these 2 points you should bear in mind, right? And now the next thing is that, right, what is the benefit to India of developing this vaccine, right? So next question can be asked that, what is the benefit to India, right? What is the benefit to India of developing this vaccine, right? So now let me discuss this point also for your means point of view, or how to develop the things, how to develop the ideas, I mean to say, right here. Okay, So as far as the what is the benefit to India of developing this vaccine, right? So first of all, right? So India has a right very high burden of right very high burden of diseases, particularly pneumonia, right? Caused by caused by the pneumococcus bacteria, right? Caused by the pneumococcus bacteria. So one thing is that, right, caused by the pneumococcus bacteria. So there is very high burden on India. Okay. So and worldwide also you can say, right. So this pneumococcal or pneumococcus disease, right, is one of the major contributors of under 5 deaths of children in the world and in our country as well, right. So one thing is that, right? So now the next thing is that, right, uh, India, right? So in we can say a significant percentage of India's population, a significant percentage, right, of India's population is not right having sufficient income, right? Is not having sufficient income. It means poverty is there in our country, right? Poverty is there, and there is not sufficient income, right? So now, what is the problem that the imported vaccines, right? The imported vaccines are very costlier for us. Imported vaccines are very costlier. So very costlier, right? Costlier. So now, what is the issue here if imported vaccines are costlier, right? So there are two important points here, right? So neither the families uh, can bear the burden of cost of imported vaccines, right? Cost of imported vaccine. One point is that, one thing is that, right? And right, and not the government, right, has sufficient resources to provide it free of cost, right? And not the government has sufficient resources to provide it free of cost, right? So that is why, because government has certain other priorities also, nor the government has sufficient resources to provide it free of cost. Okay, provided free of cost. Okay, so therefore, right, so indigenously developed vaccine, which is comparatively cheaper as well, right, economical as well, so that will be a great help for our country. Okay, so one thing is that, right, and the second thing is that, right, so by exporting the vaccine, to other countries, the vaccine to other countries, right? India may earn may earn a good foreign exchange, right? A good foreign exchange, okay? And 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 export every export, right, leads to an improvement in India's right balance of trade, in India's balance of trade, okay, in India's balance of trade and balance of payments as well, right? Balance of payments as well, right? These are the other benefits of this vaccine for the development of this vaccine, right? So as far as the balance of trade, I think some of the students may not be aware about the balance of trade. So let me tell you, right? The balance of trade is that, okay, balance of trade, right, is that for very in very simple terms, I'm going to tell you here, right? So in detail we will discuss when we will come on such type of topics, right? So every country does export, and every country does import also, right? Export, import. That is important thing, right? Export, import of goods as well as services also, right? Like India, software uh, industry may, right? So we are exporting services. We are the leading exporter of services, right? Yes, services also there, okay? So now this is the issue, right? So now what is that, right? So the value of exports minus value of imports, okay? So value of exports, okay? यहाँ मैं लिखता हूँ minus value of imports, okay? Minus value of imports, okay? So that leads to the trade balance, right? That leads to the balance of trade of a country, okay? That is the balance of trade of a country. Okay, so now what is there? Now what is there, right? So there are two possibilities. One possibility is that export may be more than imports, right? So if the exports will be more than imports, then it would lead to the trade surplus, right? So that would mean that the balance of trade is positive of the country, right? So let me write here, balance of trade, right, is positive as far as the country is concerned, right? And in case this export, right, is less than the, okay, as far as this export is less than the import, so we will say that, right? So we used to say that there is trade deficit, right? It means we are importing more and exporting less, trade deficit. And in this case we say that balance of trade of the country is negative, right, is negative. So in India's case, the overall balance of trade remains negative because we have to import, right, in large quantity, or you can say this uh, petroleum products, right, petroleum and gold as well, and many other things also, right? So that is why this is the thing. This is the balance of trade, right? And balance of payments means the total payments, balance of payments means what is that, right? So during the year, right, total receipts from the foreign, right? So minus total payments to the rest of the world, to the world outside, right? So that is equal to the balance of payments, right? So that leads to the balance of payments, okay? So now what is there, right? Total receipts may be more than the total payments, right? Total receipts may be more than the total payments, right? So if the total receipts are more than the total payments, so then we will say that balance of payments is favorable, right? So then what we say, that balance of payments is favorable to the country, right? Is favorable to the country, right? And we would not be in the foreign exchange crisis perhaps, right? And then if the total receipts are less than the total payments, right, in that case we say that balance of payments position is, you can say, unfavorable to the country. So in that case, right, we may, you can say, face the that foreign exchange crisis as well, right? So this is the important point which I need to tell you here, right? So this is the second benefit of development of such type of vaccines or such type of innovations in our country, right? And the third most important point which is there, right, that is you can say, it leads to increase in the soft power of India, right? It leads to increase in the increase in the soft power of India, okay, in the soft power of India. Okay, so soft power diplomacy is also one very important thing in today's, you can say that world, right, in international relations, you can say. So these are the three important things. Right. So if somebody tells you that what is the benefit of such type of innovations to our country, because we need to spend a lot of money, right, on those things, right? And India has certain other priorities as well. So why India is not focusing on those priorities, and why India is spending money, or you can say investing money in such type of things, right? Like you can say the question can be asked about we can say that you can say ISRO as well, right? Right? KY the space programs, right? When there are other priorities in India, right? The people in India are still, you can say, hungry, right? So a good percentage of India's population, right, has to sleep without taking the food at night, right? So that is one issue, right? And there is problem of there is very high prevalence of that malnutrition related issues, stunted children, underweight children, right? Wasted children are there in our country, and the anemic women are there in our country, right? And you can say, instead of building the social infrastructure, right, and instead of you can say spending the money to create the employment, etc., right? So we are spending, uh, we are investing a lot of money in our, you can say, space programs. Then what is the, you can say, justification in that, right? So in that case also, you need to tackle the question in the same way, right? So number one, it is giving benefits to us because, right, so we are becoming independent, right, as far as the this is concerned, right? So you know that that dependability on other countries as far as the security reasons are concerned, as far as the navigation issues are concerned, right, as far as the weather related studies are concerned, right, whatever is there. So dependability on other countries, right, data sharing, you can say, right, getting the data from other countries, right? So, or sharing the information with other countries, so that is not good for the country, right? So that may lead to, right, outflow of a lot of you can say foreign currency from the country, right? So that may lead to such type of issues. One is that, right? And the second is that right, so now or you can say ISRO, right, is is in such a position that it is putting into space the satellites or missions of various other countries, right? Also, like American satellites are also being launched by, we can say, ISRO, because ISRO can launch the satellites, right, in a very low budget as compared to the America or other countries. So that is one thing, right? So now it means we are getting the foreign orders also, right? So that is why the second thing is that, right? And third is it leads to increase in the soft power of the country, right? So many of the students are asking about the, you can say, soft power, right? So as far as the soft power is concerned, right? So it is, so see, let me tell you that what is this soft power, because this is a question of many of the students among you. So as far as the soft power is concerned, let me tell you that power, right? Right. So power is important to win, right? You know, the powerful countries, right, have a incapacity to influence the other countries, influence their decisions also, and they try to interfere into the internal programs on and policies of the other countries as well, right? So as far as the power is concerned, there are two types of powers. One is the hard power, right, and next is the soft power, right? There are two types of powers, we can say, right? So as far as the hard power is concerned, right, so hard power is exercised usually in the form of weapons, right? Hard power is exercised in the form of weapons, right? Wars are fought, okay? Wars are fought, you can say, right? So bloodshed, right? So blood flows, we can say, right? In, right? So when we exercise the hard power, right? So we can say that relations become tense, right? Relations become tense, right? And race for weapons increase, okay? When we use the hard power, race for weapons increase, right? So many destructive weapons are also made, like Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? So that is the incident that you all may know, right? So one thing is that, let me tell you in very simple language, right? So one thing is that that I may try to win you, right, with the help of a gun, sword, or such type of things, right? One is that, right? And second thing is that I may try to win you, right, by, you can say, displaying my capabilities, right, by the power of love, by the power of cooperation, by the power of support to you, right? So we can say that is the soft power in a case, right? Right. So we can say, like, right, let us suppose, right? So if you think that, you can say, there is one person, right, uh, in in a certain conference or in a certain meeting, right, or in certain group, right, you can say, and you feel that that person is having the extraordinary capabilities, that person is having extraordinary knowledge, right? So that person right, is very much, you can say, the uh, patient by nature, right? So all these things we can say, right? And that person has a very good reason, logic, right? And instead of becoming harsh or becoming angry with somebody, right, so he tries to tackle everything, right, with love, right, with cooperation, and all these things, right? So then what is there, uh, you you would automatically start accepting the subordination of that person, right? So you will automatically start respecting that person, right? This person is of such a caliber, right, that the person has solution to our problems, that the person is, you can say, cooperative, very much cooperative, right, that the person, right, so when, right, so when we disclose our any problem before that person, right, so that person tries to help us, so you automatically will start respecting that person. So we can say this is the, you can say, soft power, right? So as far as the soft power of India is concerned, right, India's soft power, right, remains in non-alignment, right? So many of you may not be knowing about this non-alignment, right? So India's soft power remains in non-violence, right? Non-violence, right? So these are the powers of India, na? Non-violence, right? So India's soft power lies in, you can say, right, lies in democratic values, right? Lies in democratic values. Okay. Okay. So India's soft power lies in India's secularism, right? That the countries see that, right. So how, right, the people of different religions and different thoughts are living in this country, right? So India's soft power lies in India's secularism as well. Okay, secularism as well. Okay, so this is the right. So and the next thing is that, right, next thing is that, right, so Bollywood also adds to India's soft power, because India's movies, right, are seen in many countries now, right? So Bollywood is also contributing to the soft power of India, right? And we can say, right, that that achievements by the, we can say, ISRO also, right, right, adding to the soft power of the country, right, and innovations in various fields also adding to the superpower of country, sorry, adding to the soft power of the country, right? So innovations, right, we can say, right, innovations, right? So and similarly you can say, right, the age old culture of the country, right, which is very rich heritage of the country, so that also adds to the, yeah, right, you can say, the soft power of the country, right? So many people are have started following, right, Indian culture today, right, and they praise Indian culture, right? And similarly, right, and similarly, right, so declaration of yoga, right, we can say, right, so declaration of International Yoga Day, June 21, right, by this UN, right? So UN International Yoga Day, right? So that has also added to the International Yoga Day, right? So that has also added to the soft power of the country, right? So now what is there now, right? India's support to the various countries, right? During the COVID period, right? India's support to various countries in the COVID period, right? So that has also, okay, the various countries in the COVID period, right? Like we are providing them that, right, various types of medicines also, right? We are providing them syringes also, right? We are providing them other things as well. Okay, so in the COVID-19 crisis, right? Also, right, we are doing that also, right? And these all are, right, similarly, right, launch of, you can say, South Asian satellite by India, right, to support the neighboring countries, right? So launch of a South Asian satellite by ISRO of our country. So all these are the soft powers of the country, right? So we are not picking up the weapons, we are not using the guns, but still we are, you can say, winning the countries with this strategy. So this is the soft power of the country. Okay, I think it's clear. It's clear to you. So we can say that this is the concept of soft power. Okay. So today, in today's world, right, soft power is becoming more important than the, you can say, hard power, right? Because hard power is not acceptable in the modern days, right? So what we can do, right? We can win the countries by using the soft power diplomacy. Okay. So I think the point is clear to you. Is it clear to everybody? Tell me. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so beta, if a question related with the soft power is asked to you in your examination, would you be able to answer
Yes, sir.
the soft power? Okay, okay, good, good, good. So this is very simple. Concepts are very simple. Okay, so no worries. Okay, so now the next thing is, because we were discussing about the pneumococcus vaccine, right? So let me move on to that again, right? So pneumococcus vaccine, right? So as far as the pneumococcus vaccine was concerned, we have already discussed that, you can say, what the vaccine is, right? And we have also discussed that, you can say, right? We have also discussed here that, right, India is the first among the developing countries to develop this pneumococcus vaccine indigenously, right? So this is the next thing, right? So now the next question is that, why the need of this vaccine, right? Why the need, right? So why the need? So the next question is that, right? So in the, otherwise I have already discussed with you, but let me write here 2 points here, right? So one point is that, why this is important, right? So pneumococcus diseases, right? Pneumococcus diseases, pneumococcus diseases are the major contributors, to under five, right, mortality rate worldwide, right? Under five, or we can say major contributor to mortality, right? Mortality among under five children. So that is better to say, right? Among under five children. So this is the one point, that why the need of the vaccine is there. So, right. So it is important to prevent our children and our old people above 65 years of age, right? So they are also vulnerable to such type of infections, right? So to save them, right? Mainly save our children, that is important, right? And moreover, WHO in 2018, right? In 2018, recommended to include, right? Recommended to include pneumococcal, right? Pneumococcus, we can say. Okay, pneumococcus vaccine, right? In routine immunization program. Okay, immunization program worldwide. Okay, immunization program worldwide, right? So this is the next thing, that why, right? So WHO has also considered the importance of such type of vaccine, because this disease is major contributor in the mortality, in the death among below 5 years of age children, right? So seeing that, WHO has also recommended that it should be part of the routine immunization program, right, through the world. So this is the next thing, right? And now the next point, which is important here, related with this particular vaccine, right? So the next point we are going to discuss now, that is the manufacturer of the vaccine, right? So manufacturer of the vaccine. So that is also important, right? Manufacturer. Okay. So as far as the manufacturer is concerned, here one very important point is that the vaccine has been manufactured by Serum Institute of India, by Serum Institute of India. Okay, Serum Institute of India. This is known as SII also, right? So there are two, three important points about this Serum Institute of India also, right? So Serum Institute of India, number one, is world's largest vaccine manufacturer, and right, world's largest vaccine manufacturer. Okay, world's largest vaccine manufacturer. Okay, and plus it is at present supplying vaccine to about 170 countries of the world, right? So every third child in the world is using the vaccine, right, manufactured by SII, means Serum Institute of India. So this is the one point, and the second point is that right, it is based at Pune in Maharashtra, right? Pune in Maharashtra. So these are the two important points related with this. Okay? Pune in Maharashtra. So this is the second point which is important here. Okay. So now, right now the next point is that this Serum Institute of India, right, has manufactured other vaccines also, right? Has manufactured other vaccines against, right? So it has manufactured other vaccine, other vaccines, right? Against what? Right? Against what? So it has manufactured other vaccines also, right? So what other vaccines it has manufactured? Now let us discuss about that, right? Against means one is the polio vaccine, which has been developed by this, right, manufactured by this, we can say, Serum Institute of India, right? One is this. Okay. So as far as this vaccine is concerned, we can say, right? So polio, right? So is uh, polio disease is known as the, right, poliomyelitis also, right? Poliomyelitis, myelitis, poliomyelitis also, right? And this disease is caused by the polio virus, right? So name of the virus is polio virus, right? So this disease is caused by the polio virus. Okay. So it's the manufacturer of this also, right? And the second thing is that, and the second point is that it is the manufacturer of diphtheria, right? Diphtheria, right? Vaccine against diphtheria, 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 right? So diphtheria is a disease which is caused by the, diphtheria is a disease which is caused by the bacteria. Which bacteria? Right, right. So which is caused by, right? We can say, right, Cori, Cory, right? Cori, right? Nebacterium, right? Corynebacterium, right? Terium, right? Corynebacterium, right? Then TIPH, right? TH, you can say, right? ERIAE, right? Diphtheriae, right? So Corynebacterium diphtheriae. So this is the bacteria which causes this disease, right? So very simple, right? Let's suppose in your examination, the question is asked that, right? Diphtheria is a viral disease. So there is one statement. So that statement would be wrong. Diphtheria is a bacterial disease, right? So we need to keep in mind that also. So such type of questions are also asked there in your examinations, right? But it all depends. So the next point is that, right? So after diphtheria, right? The next is that is we can say that tetanus, 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 right? So as far as the tetanus is concerned, right? So here two important things we'll discuss, right? So one important thing is that tetanus is caused by, right? We can say, right? Right? Clost, Clostridium, Clostridium, right? Clostridium, right? Tetani, Tetani, right? Clostridium tetani bacteria, right? So one point is that, and the second point here, which is important, that is that, right? So spores of this bacteria, right? Spores of this bacteria are found everywhere in the, we can say, environment, right? So spores of the bacteria, right? Spores of this bacteria are found everywhere, okay? Are found everywhere in the environment, everywhere in the environment, right? In the environment, okay? So this is there, right? So we can say that now we have here used a term which is spore, right? So now what is this? We can say spore, right? So spore is what? Spore is the bacteria in, right? Spore is the bacteria in we can say inactive form, right? Inactive form, right? So inactive form means, right? So we can say, right? So bacteria form spores, right? Let me tell you here that bacteria form spores, okay? BICTERI, bacteria form spores, right? To protect themselves, right? To protect themselves against, right? Ecological degrading agents, right? Against ecology degrading agents, right? So that is important thing, ecological degrading agents, right? So अपने आप को बचाने के लिए ये inactive हो जाता है, right? Degrading agents, right? Okay, so we can say bacterial spores or the bacteria spores, right? Bacteria spore is the most dormant form of bacteria, right? Is the most dormant form of bacterium, we can say, right? Bacterium, right? Since in this condition, right? Since in this condition, right? Bacterium exhibits, bacterium exhibit, right? Exhibit, okay? Minimum metabolism and respiration, right? Minimum metabolism and respiration, right? And respiration, okay? Respiration. So I told you that as far as that tetanus bacteria is concerned, right? So the name of the bacteria is, we can say, right? Clostridium, right? Tetani, That is the name of the bacteria. And this bacteria is found everywhere in our environment. But the thing is that, right, so in our environment, the we can say spores of this bacteria are found, right? Spores are the inactive form of the bacteria, right? They become inactive, or they form spores to prevent from the ecological degrading agents, you can say, right? So in this form, they become dormant, right? And they, you can say, resort to the minimum level of right metabolism and the minimum level of the respiration. Yes, but when such bacteria enters into the body of the human being, right? When such spores enter into the body of the human being, right? So they again develop themselves into bacteria and they become active, right? And they cause loss to us. Okay, so this is the strategy there, right? Ecological degrading agents. Beta, there are a number of agents, right, which are, you can say, right, you can say, degrading or deteriorating the ecological systems, right, around us. So that we will discuss in further environment, right? So beta, this is the point, right? So we have discussed about this tetanus also, right? Tetanus also. Okay, so now the next thing is that, right, so we are talking about this pneumococcus vaccine manufacturer, and what are the various you can say vaccines, right, produced by or manufactured by this, right? So let me continue it, right? Pneumococcus, okay, vaccine. So we are on working on this, right? So we are discussing about the right manufacturer of the vaccine, right? So what we have discussed so far, manufacturer of the vaccine, right? So I told you that, right, this manufacturer, which is the Serum Institute of India, right? So that has so far, uh, sorry, so that has developed this pneumococcus vaccine under the name of the pneumocell, right? SII is that, right? So, and we were discussing that other various types of vaccines, right, developed by this SII, right? So in that, I have told you that it has developed vaccine against polio, right? It has developed vaccine for protection from diphtheria disease, right? For protection from tetanus also. And the next, it has developed BCG vaccine also, right? BCG, right? So as far as the BCG is concerned, right, you all know that BCG injection is given to us for prevention from what? Hello? BCG injection is given to us for prevention from what? Hmm? Anybody knows? For prevention from. Have you heard about the BCG? Hello, tell me. BCG injection is given for prevention from what? Tell me. Okay. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Right. So BCG injection is given for prevention from TB, right, which is called the tuberculosis, right? Tuberculosis disease, right? Tuberculosis disease, right? So it is given to us for prevention from that disease, right? So now the important thing is that, right? So TB is caused by, right? So the bacteria which causes TB, right? So TB is caused by, right? Please note it, right? So TB is caused by right, mycobacterium, right? Mycobacterium, right? That is, we can say, tuberculosis, right? Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So this is the right name of the bacteria that causes TB to us. Okay, so TB is caused by this, and for prevention from this bacterial infection, we can say BCG injection is given, right? And the BCG has also been developed by this, right? Okay, so the next is right, the next which is manufactured by this manufacturer, that is the hepatitis B vaccine, right? So hepatitis is caused by hepatitis virus, right? So nothing in this, right? Hepatitis B vaccine is also produced by this company, right? And the next thing is that you can say, right? So this company, right, is manufacturer of vaccine against measles, measles, measles disease, right? So measles disease, right? So measles, what is measles? Measles is basically a viral disease, right? So please bear this in mind. Measles is a viral disease. Measles is a viral disease, right? So viral disease, right? So it is caused by a disease, okay? Disease. So it is caused by a virus, right? So the name of the virus that caused this measles, right? So the name is the, right, rubeola virus, rubeola, right? Rubeola virus, right? So please mind the spellings here, right? So that is measles, right? So after measles, the next vaccine, right, produced by this company. So that is, we can say the mumps, mumps. Mumps is the right, to prevent from mumps also. This is the next vaccine, right, produced by, and mumps is also a viral infection, right? Mumps is also caused by virus. So this is also a viral infection caused, right, to the human beings, right? Viral infection. So mumps is called by, right, we can say rubella virus, right? So it is caused by rubella, rubula, right? Rubella virus. Okay, so that's important. So it is caused by rubella virus. Mumps is caused by this, right? Rubella virus. Okay, so I think this is clear to you. Okay, so now there is a, that is rubella. Another diseases that is called rubella, right? So rubella. Okay, so rubella, rubella. As far as the rubella is concerned, right? Rubella is known as German measles as well, right? So rubella is known as German measles as well. Okay, German measles as well, and uh, and this disease is caused by the, right. This disease is caused by rubella virus, rubella, right? Rubella virus. Okay, so now please note the spellings. Please mind the, we can say spellings here, right? So this measles rubella virus, right? And this mumps rubella virus, okay, and this rubella or German measles by rubella virus. So this is the difference between the three, okay. And apart from that, right, and apart from that, this company has manufactured anti-COVID vaccine, that is the Covishield, right? So Covishield is the brand name of a anti-COVID vaccine, right? Manufactured by this company, Covishield, right? So these are the various vaccines provided by this, right? Otherwise, the list was not that much important, right? Because you can say through this list, right? I wanted to, you can say, discuss with you, right? All these important things, that what causes polio, what causes diphtheria, what causes tetanus, right? So what is the spore of bacteria, right? So I wanted to discuss all these things with you, and what causes this TB, right? And what causes measles, right? What causes mumps, so what causes this rubella or German measles, because these were important things. So I wanted to discuss that with you, right? Like COVID is a viral disease, right? Viral infection. Measles is a viral infection, right? Mumps is a viral infection. Rubella is a viral infection, right? And TB is a bacterial infection, right? So hepatitis B, that is a viral infection. We can say like that, right? And similarly, polio is a viral disease, right? Diphtheria is a bacterial disease. Tetanus is a bacterial disease, right? So all these things you should bear this in mind, right? So BCG is a Bacillus calmette-guerin, right? So that is the full form of the BCG. Okay. So now the next thing which I am going to start with you, to discuss now with you, right? Okay, screen is not visible. Is my screen not visible to everybody?
Visible, sir.
Okay, okay, okay.
It's visible.
Okay, so let me tell you, beta Paranali, beta, you make some settings from your end. I think there may be some problem from your end, right? So otherwise it is visible to everybody. So please make some. Okay, so now visible. Okay, okay, it's good. So now the next thing which we are discussing with you here, right? So this point is the topic which I am going to discuss now with you